The Houston Rockets have completely transformed their ball club from what it was last season. We take a look at the Houston Rockets last year. We all know they were one of the worst teams in all of the Western Conference, and teams were looking forward to playing the Houston Rockets because they knew they were going to be able to get whatever shot they wanted on the offensive side of the ball. We fast forward to the 2023-2024 NBA season. The Houston Rockets have put in a lot of work into this organization. Free agency moves, off-season moves in the NBA draft, and these moves has paid off as the Houston Rockets, they look like a completely different team. The biggest turnaround, in my opinion, is what they've been able to do on the defensive side of the ball. We just talked about how they were one of the worst defenses last season, and we coming into this season, they literally have one of the best defenses in all of the NBA. They're playing at such a high level on that side of the ball that they are rated the second best defense in all of the NBA, which is pretty impressive. I can't remember the last time I've seen a team go from one of the worst defenses to one of the best defenses in just a year's time. So that is really impressive. Not only are they playing defense, but the Houston Rockets are winning ball games. Right now, they are currently on a 4-game winning streak. Their home game winning streak has gone all the way up to 11, and they have a record of 12-9, which is good enough for 7th place in a very talented Western Conference. And if the NBA season was to end today, the Houston Rockets would just need to win one play-in tournament game to notch themselves a spot in the Western Conference playoffs. So if you ask me, this team has completely flipped the switch in terms of them being competitive and winning games. And we can look at them bringing in Coach Ime Udoka, who has definitely had a huge impact on these guys winning ball games, and he's established that defensive culture for this young, that defensive identity for this young team. We've seen it. If the Houston Rockets aren't going to do anything, if they aren't going to score the ball, if they're not going to hit their three-point shots, they're going to defend at a high level each and every night. That has been instilled in them. We can look at the free agent signings that they made this season, bringing in Fred VanVleet, bringing in Dylan Brooks. Those two guys have definitely made a huge impact on impacting ball games. They also have their younger guys getting better. Alperen Sengun has just constantly been getting better since he's gotten drafted by the Houston Rockets. Each and every year, his numbers are increasing and increasing. This year, he's scoring the basketball better, averaging 20 points per game. He's rebounding better. He's playmaking better, and he's still being super duper efficient. So the Houston Rockets have a lot of great things going for them right now, and it doesn't just stop at those things right there. They have a guy on their team named Tari Eason. His last 2 games have been sensational for the Houston Rockets, and in these last 2 games, the Houston Rockets have kind of struggled on the offensive side of the ball, and Tari Eason has been able to come in with his energy, take over these ball games, scoring the basketball, rebounding, making plays on defense, and lead his team to a few victories. Right now, I think Tari Eason is the best kept secret on the Houston Rockets. Now, let me clarify, Tari Eason is definitely not a secret to the Houston Rockets fan base. I make quite a few videos on the Houston Rockets, and a lot of you guys are high on Tari Eason. I'm referring to like the rest of the basketball world, some of the more casual NBA fans. They probably don't have a clue how good Tari Eason is and how much potential that this guy has. Now, I just took a peek at Tari Eason's numbers, and they're not gonna eye pop out at you, but I still think his numbers are impressive given the amount of minutes that he's playing each and every night. Right now, he's only averaging 20 minutes, not even 20, 19 minutes per game, and he's still putting up 8 points per game to go along with 7 rebounds, and also 1 block per game to go with a half steal. So those 19 minutes that he's out there, he's making a real impact. Now, I don't know if his minutes are so low because he had an injury to start this season. They're kind of working his way to playing higher minutes, and if that's not the case and his minutes are just low because they're low, he's definitely starting to earn some of his minutes because his last 2 games has been very impactful for the Houston Rockets. We look at these last 2 games for Houston. Their best players have kind of struggled with their shot a little bit. Alperen Sengun struggled badly against the Memphis Grizzlies. He finished with only 9 points, and he didn't even play down the stretch for Coach Ime Udoka. Same thing with Jalen Green, who has been struggling with his shot over these last few games. And they've had Tari Eason come off the bench and make a huge impact not only make a huge impact, but take over these games for the Houston Rockets and lead them to victory. Against the San Antonio Spurs, he finished leading the team in scoring and also leading them in rebounding. He had a double-double, 18 points and 14 rebounds. Same thing against the Memphis Grizzlies. He comes in off the bench, has a huge impact, takes over for the Houston Rockets, leads them in points once again with 26, and leads them in rebounding once again with 14. And what's another thing that's so impressive about this is that the minutes still aren't high. Once again, he's doing his damage very quickly in both of these games where he were able to take over for the Houston Rockets. Tari Eason only played 26 minutes, so I think that is very impressive, and I think the more you put Tari Eason out there, the more impactful he's going to be. And I think when it comes to his game, there is so much to love about Tari Eason. Now, when I look at Tari Eason as a basketball player, the number one thing that catches my eye is the physical attributes that he possesses. Now, he is a forward. He is listed as a forward, small forward, power forward. Those two things are really the same in today's game, but his size for the position is just tremendous. He's around 6'8", around 215, 220 pounds. And then what makes him really, really impactful with his size is his wingspan. He has a 7'2" wingspan, and also he had the biggest hands in his draft class. And his physical attributes and his ability to play defense has really got him a lot of comparisons to Kawhi Leonard on the defensive side of the ball. And if you watch him play, you can definitely respect that comparison, because Tari Eason is a great defender. But back to his physicality, he does not only have the size, but he is supremely athletic. He can run up and down the floor with the guards, and then he can bang down low on the block with some of the bigs in the league. So his size and his athleticism really allows him to be a versatile defender. And then looking at his defense, it's really impressive how good he is on the defensive side of the ball, how smart he is. When you see players that possesses the athleticism and the size of Tari Eason, it can allow them to be a lot more aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. And sometimes you can be a little bit too aggressive, trying to jump the passing lanes, or trying to go for steals, trying to go for blocks, and now you're getting in foul trouble, or now your steals are just mistimed and you're giving up easy cuts to the rim or open threes. But you don't really get any of that with Tari Eason. He is very punctual on the defensive side of the ball. He has great instincts, and it seems like every move he makes defensively is calculated. So he has great defensive instincts. And then we talked about the versatility. He can be a great on-ball defender, whether it's guarding a wing. He can stay in front of a guard, and then also he's a great help defender. In college, summer league, since he's been in the NBA, he's been very disruptive as a help defender, whether it's rotating up to contest or get a steal in the passing lane, or he's a great swing man rotating down to protect the rim. And we all see the numbers, how great he is at rebounding the basketball. So Tari Eason is just he's so great when it comes to his physical attributes, and then he really puts them to great use on the defensive side of the ball. And what gives Tari Eason that superstar potential, or that all-star potential, is how underrated he is as an offensive player. And coming into the NBA, one thing Tari Eason was criticized for was his ability to shoot the three-point shot, and NBA scouts said that his shot mechanics looked a little off. Now, to me personally, it looks like he has a pretty smooth jump shot, but what do I know? I'm not an NBA scout. Maybe they're seeing something that we're not seeing, but nonetheless, it has not been a problem for Tari Eason so far in his young NBA career. In his rookie season, he shot the three ball at a 34% clip, and when you're bringing what he's bringing defensively and as a rebounder, you'll live with 34% all day long. I think that's very respectable. And this season, he's just been shooting the tray ball at a very high rate. Right now, he's shooting the three ball at a 41% clip, and he's not just taking his threes in the short corner, but he's knocking them down from the wing. He's knocking them down from the top of the key, and these shots are going in on net. So it looks like Tari Eason definitely has that shooting touch. And what I just love about him offensively right now, the Houston Rockets, they're not calling any plays for Tari Eason. He's not getting any isolations, or he's not running the pick and roll or anything, but he's literally just putting himself in the right spot at the right time. He's running the floor really hard. He's offensive rebounding and getting putbacks. He's cutting well, and like we just talked about, he's hitting his open catch and shoot threes. So Tari Eason right now, while he's honing that skill of just creating his own shot, he's still being impactful as a scorer by doing everything the Houston Rockets need him to do without the basketball in his hands. And if you watched him in college, he definitely has some offensive prowess to him. He did a great job of getting to the rim. He had great footwork. When it came to getting downhill and getting around defenders, finishing through defenders. And I also like him as a playmaker. When he does get the ball in the half court, he's looking to make a quick decision. If what he likes isn't there as far as scoring the ball, he's coming off the rock and he's moving the basketball and he's keeping the basketball circulated. So I think there's a lot to love with Tari Eason. I think he has so much potential. I love the way he makes himself available on the offensive side of the ball, even though 90% of the time no plays are getting called for him, and then he's just a monster defensively and as a rebounder. So I just wanted to talk about Tari Eason today. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below what you think about this video, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.